this is an example of how I got another amazing client from this method. And so this person had shared that she was looking for a business coach. So I already, by this point, had my virtual assistant doing the process, but you can do the process yourself first. It's good to make sure that your processes work before you hand them off to someone else. And you might not have the budget yet to hand them off to someone else. But I want to show you the method that I used. So I sent a message, and when I noticed that this person was looking for a business coach. So this is what I said. And she replied. And and another, like, I'm not a perfectionist at all. So this was my virtual assistant was doing it. And I had instructed him to say, because I noticed there were this was the first time I did it. So I was like, okay, well, some of them are really old. So you can say, like, did you ever find, I noticed your post from a while ago. Well, it turns out her post was just from just last night. That's okay. Like, no one cares. So things don't have to be perfect. So she said that I actually just posted last night. And then she told me what she wants. Okay. And it turns out now, if I didn't have this experience, if I didn't know that I could help her, I would tell her that. Okay. But to keep on taking these off. Okay. So but I could help her. So I let her know. This is one of the things that I do is I create multiple sales strategies to be used. This is what I'm doing here. In addition to what they're already doing. I'm specifically good at getting into inboxes. Okay. So going to some of her pain points that I know, okay, again, this is not bullshit. These are things that I know that I can help her with. Okay. So then I asked, I put it back to her as far as unicorns go, because she said she was looking for a unicorn. What else do you want your coach to help with? Okay. Okay. And then she said that she was having an issue. So, okay. And then, okay, here's what I did, because then she said, school's been out doing an ice storm, trying to keep up with a toddler on my hip. So I'm like, okay, this is a person who's going through it, right? So I went back to her original post and looked at, so she didn't have to repeat things. I went back to her original post and saw what she had specifically asked for. So here's what I did. I said, to make it easier for you, I specifically replied to the 3 things from her initial post. Now, I didn't do it at first because I really didn't want to word vomit. I wanted to build a relationship first before, like, blah, blah, blah. I can help you with everything. So that's what I did. But at this point, I looked and I really thoughtfully replied to the things that she was looking for. She also said she didn't want a life or mindset coach. Well, I'm a business coach, but I'm also trained as a life and mindset coach. So I just thought I'd throw that in there. And then, okay, so then you can see this was, what date was this? This was February 2nd. Okay. And some of my clients will be like, I talk to people, then they ghost me. And I'm like, what do you mean? And so some people would like literally consider this ghosting if they didn't hear from them in a couple of days. And so I don't put judgment on it. I assume that people are just busy like I am, and that it's my courtesy because I'm the salesperson, right? Like I am looking for their business. So it's my responsibility to follow up with them if I haven't heard from them. Okay. So I just said, how are things in Texas this Monday? And then she replied, and we're building a relationship. Okay. And then we talked, and then she hired me on that call. So the system works. It's great. I noticed how I built a relationship with her through the process. And that is how I got this amazing ideal client.